Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 12 in the NFL right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. He's going to cover all three of the Thanksgiving Day games with us. Right now we're going to cover the third game, Green Bay and Chicago. Joe Duffy, this game I think has my favorite play out of all of the three NFL games on Thanksgiving Day. We'll see if you agree with me. Right now the line is Green Bay -9. Total's 47 or 47.5, and the Packers, of course, suddenly got a big win over Minnesota. You know what happened? Did they suddenly fix everything? A little bit, but not really. Their offense definitely looked better, but also definitely didn't look like their unstoppable offense of old. And they also got a lot of support from their defense. And Chicago is just a team that under John Fox, they're kind of prepared every week. I kind of like them as a team in general. Going forward, I'm not sure if I like them here at +9, but I do think they're going to be they're going to have a decent defensive performance here, and I think that the under 47.5. It's a play that I bet, and I think it's my favorite play out of all of the three NFL Thanksgiving Day games. What do you think about that, Joe Duffy? Under 47.5, Chicago, Green Bay.
I think it's a very reasonable play. I think that if anything, Green Bay knows they've really got to shore up their defense. I think they're going to focus a lot more on defense this week. But I guess I'm going to have to go with one of my basic simple theories. When I talk about these predictably unpredictable quarterbacks, and usually Matt Stafford and Jay Cutler are the two guys that top that list, I like to fade them generally as big favorites, go with them, though, as big underdogs because they can be such a box of chocolates. And in this case, I'm going to have to take the big number. Look, the Chicago Bears have actually been pretty competitive in their losses. Their last three losses, each by 3 or less. Packers have shown more than their share of vulnerabilities. They've lost 3 of 4. Not surprisingly, the road team is 7-3 straight up in the Bears games. That's what happens when you have these box of chocolate guys, as I said, at quarterback. When you least expect it. They actually can play better on the road than they do at home. And look, the last 5 games, Packers have allowed 323 yards passing per game. So I think, even though, maybe you will get the under, but I think that they still have shown enough weaknesses in their passing game that Chicago should be able to keep it close. This is one game of the many games this week, but probably as much as any, got to keep our eyes on the injury report as we get closer to the game. Looks like Matt Forte is probable, at least as we follow this report. Alshon Jeffrey, though, is questionable. That is very big. If both of those guys are healthy and you're still getting more than a touchdown, more than 7.5, 8, and as we said, 9 points, and I think Chicago does become a good play. And it might be one of those blessings in disguise type injuries if Forte does come back. His backup, Jeremy Langford's really established himself, so they might actually have a good 1-2 punch. But keep a very close eye on the Chicago injury report. But I will say, look, for the purposes of this video, maybe I'll grab the 9 points.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning as well. I'm just concerned that maybe, Chicago has one too many injuries to have it really be a reliable bet, even getting 9 points. But that's definitely how I would lean. You're not concerned about all the injuries with Chicago, Joe?
I am. Whether or not it'll be a premium pick is going to depend on A, the injury report, and B, how much the odds makers adjust, and if we can beat the line move, et cetera. So I am definitely concerned about it, yes. And I'm not ready to make it a premium play yet until I get a little more certain status on their skill position players.
All right, Joe Duffy giving us a free pick with the Bears, currently +9 against the Packers. I'm going to be on the under 47.5. I did already bet that one. Joe Duffy, awesome analysis as always. And tell us a little bit more about your website, OffshoreInsiders.com. I know you're having a great year there, right?
Yeah, this is a big weekend to get our picks. Number one, because Thanksgiving weekend has a lot of myths in college football. We discussed that a little bit more in the site. Plus, look, I know that so many handicappers out there, they do this part-time. They're not putting in much time this week. I do this full-time. I'm going to be putting in all kinds of hours this week. Huge week. Thanksgiving week is usually one of our better ones of the year, especially in college football, because we fade a popular myth that happens this week. Anyway, just visit OffshoreInsiders.com. We'll give you all the details.
All right, Joe Duffy. Thanks so much.